Welcome to the Lookout Cookout, celebrating the history, heritage, people, and places of the Cape Lookout area of North Carolina. This episode of the Lookout Cookout is brought to you by Above It All Studios, covering all of your video recording and photography needs, offering studio portraits, on-location shooting, HD aerial drone videography, and much more. Book them for your next family reunion when everyone's together. Schedule an engagement photo shoot to capture that special moment forever. Visit AboveItAllStudios.com for more details. Hello everybody and welcome to this episode of the Lookout Cookout. I am your very handsome and tall and slender host. You'll never be able to guess otherwise. My name's Levi.
I feel like such a jerk for laughing at you. I'm not. Hey guys, this is Opie. It wasn't an insult for me laughing. You were being funny, and it was
Absolutely.
funny. I apologize if I sound like a jerk laughing.
Not at all. That was the point. If I can make you laugh, then I think we're doing okay.
I'm good with that too, because if I'm laughing, then I don't care if anybody else is laughing with me. I'm having a good time.
It doesn't feel like work then. Not that this is really work anyway.
I do feel like I should mention I'm equally handsome and tall, and if not more so.
Look, don't ride the bandwagon, all right?
I missed my chance. I missed it entirely.
So, how you been?
I've been good, man. How's things going with you?
Doing well. Last time we were together, we were talking about the Beaufort Music Festival, which is still coming up very soon, in a matter of weeks at this point. But we haven't moved on. We're still very much excited for that. That's the nice thing about doing these stuff in advance. You get hyped.
Yeah, if we're pulling back the curtain a little bit, we do record everything in advance. We don't go live for obvious reasons, like my hysterical laughter on the spot. But for anybody that's just now listening to this episode, if you haven't already heard about it, you hadn't checked it out. Last episode, we talked to some folks from the Beaufort Music Festival. It was nice having Sarah and John in talk about that. I'm super excited. That's coming up very shortly, even closer than when we spoke and launched that episode. So go check that out. BeaufortMusicFestival.com is the website.
So, yes.
It's got all the rundown and everything, or you can go back and listen to our past episode and get the inside scoop. If you haven't done that already and you're listening to this episode, shame on you.
Yeah, you people really need to pay attention to the lore and the chronology of the Lookout Cookout podcast, because there's a story
ahead.
arc.
Right now, somebody's skipping ahead to the actual interview versus our banter at the beginning. So.
But anyway, so now this episode, we are talking to, this was probably at the top of our list from the very beginning of starting, even before we even started the podcast, when we were still in developmental phases. We are talking to Angela from HappyCakes Cupcakery.
Oh, so good.
I know
the cupcakes. I didn't mean that to sound the way that sounded.
Oh, absolutely.
The cupcakes is what I was
Angela,
thinking
very
of.
lovely woman. She was incredibly nice.
Makes wonderful cupcakes.
She really does. Her and her daughter and daughter-in-law, the three owners of the shop.
The whole crew. You got it.
I'm sure a lot of local people are gonna know HappyCakes, but even less local, you probably recognize them. HappyCakes is a cupcake shop, and they do cookies as well. I had one the other day when we did the interview. It's all so good.
Awesome.
But HappyCakes, they actually are a cupcake shop over in Morehead City who in 2013, I believe, won an episode of Cupcake Wars that they were on. The Cupcake Wars cooking competition show
on the Food Network. Anybody that's got Netflix, it's on there now. I know their season. I forget the episode off the top of my head. It's in season 2. Whatever number episode it was the LA Bridal Bash episode.
Yeah, it was the last season of the show, because I guess they stopped making the show after that. It was like season 9 or something like that. It was like way up there. But yeah, it was LA Bridal Bash.
LA Bridal Bash.
And like you said, it is on Netflix. It's on like the Food Network's official YouTube page. I'm sure you can find it on iTunes, all that.
I'm pretty sure they got links on their website too.
They do.
HappyCakes Cupcakery.com. Excuse me, it's a little mouthful for me.
Not a problem. But yeah, so we talked to Angela from HappyCakes. We've been wanting to talk to them for a long time, but obviously they are very busy, rightfully so. They have run a very successful business, and they're not a huge team. I think she mentioned in the interview we
talked to her. It was only like 6 or 7 folks.
Yeah, something like, I think it was less than 10.
Yeah,
and it's only 3 or 4 that do the actual baking and things like that. So they're very busy, but we were very happy we were able to get Angela on the show. and to just talk about, her experiences on Food Network, her experience after winning, what got her into baking, all of that.
A lot of things have happened since they opened that particular location. They started out over at Redfish Grill over on the Morehead City waterfront for any of you guys that are local. Before winning their episode, moving on and getting their own storefront. So there's a lot of history there.
Yeah, they've been doing this for a few years now, and they are coming up on 1 year having their own standalone shop, so to speak, which at first wasn't really working out for them because they opened the standalone shop, and I think it was 20 days, about 3 weeks after, and this is on their site as well. About 3 weeks after their original grand opening last year, a car ran right through the front of the store,
shop,
and I think even destroyed the seating and destroyed the cupcake counter.
I think some folks got hurt.
Nobody killed, nobody seriously injured, but
not a fun time at the moment.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely something you can look back on and thank that there wasn't any serious injuries, but you can laugh at it a little bit now. You're far enough removed.
She seemed to be in good spirits about talking about
absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. And we reference it a few times in the interview, but we don't say directly what happened. So this is me explaining that. But basically, just a couple weeks after they opened, a car ran through the front of their store, and then they had to close. They had been open for 3 weeks, and then they had to close for 6 weeks after that.
Which anybody that didn't know about that, or if you missed or anything, it's a testament to where they've gone with that and just everything else, and to where they're at today. It was a nice little talk, and I hope everybody's looking forward to it as much as I enjoyed recording it.
Absolutely.
It was nice.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Just one thing you'll gather from the interview is Angela, and I'm sure all of her daughter and daughter-in-law by comparison, are just very strong-willed women. They see something that they want, and they work very, very hard to get it. Because I know when they were on Cupcake Wars, I think they won $10,000, and I'm sure insurance covered the car running through the shop, but it didn't cover them losing business for a month while they were closed.
Exactly. And I don't want to give too much away, but I remember her telling us that a few days after they did some kind of local fundraiser.
Yeah,
for an
event, literally like the next day or 2 days after the car running in.
Storefront all busted up. They still right outside the doors because
right
nobody could come in. They did it anyways. So check it out. Another thing too, before we break, before the actual interview, I want to mention they're a big participant in this is a special cause that they donate a portion of their sales to.
Yeah, I think on their website they say that they donate 10% of all of their sales to a specific charity. It's a charity that's near and dear to their hearts. I think you have the details over there.
It's Wipe Every Tear. You can go to their website. It's wipeeverytear.org is their website. But it helps folks that have been involved either directly or indirectly in the sex trafficking trade. And it's a pretty heavy subject for such a fun interview. Yeah. And that's why I want to make sure that we stress it now. You'll hear it during the interview, and we'll mention it again at the end in case anybody missed the information. But it's just a little testament of the people that they are outside of the business itself as well. So
yeah, I mean, something as relatively small as that, as just the fact that they donate to charity. A lot of people donate to charity, but they are a business that donates a 10% is not a small portion of their sales, and just. It really is a testament to, like you said, the kind of people that they are. They are very stand-up, biblically minded men and women that work there, and
they folks literally as sweet as the goods that they bake.
Absolutely, well done.
So
we really need a soundboard.
We need something. Ding. Anyways, so you guys stick around. We appreciate you listening so far. We appreciate you coming back for those who've been here and listening with us before. And hang on tight. We'll have the interview with you in just a few moments.
Yeah, we're going to throw it to a break. And I think, speaking of things being sweet, we're going to come back and I think we're going to cook up
Talk about some cooking ourselves.
Why do we keep doing these things that have food related to them? I can't deal with it anymore.
I'm telling you, swimsuit season too. I'm in trouble. Stick around, guys. This episode of Lookout Cookout is brought to you in part by IslandTraders.com, your source for the highest quality name brands and casual fashion.
And not only does Island Traders have amazing retail stores in both Beaufort and Atlantic Beach, but now they also have a super clean and modern online shop that will blow you away.
Shop online and take advantage of web-only specials, a huge selection, and even free shipping with orders of $100 or more. You can't always make it to the beach to shop at Island Traders, but you can always hit the website for some top-quality retail therapy, Island style.
So stop by IslandTraders.com and get some great stuff for you and your family. Island Traders, because island time is a state of mind. All right, welcome back, guys. Opie,
yes,
we had a conversation before and after and during the Happy Cakes interview. We're both not overly sweet tooth inclined, I think, but I
love cakes and pies and candy.
We both enjoy it.
Don't get me wrong.
But so trying to find a recipe for the Cookout Creative segment that we do here on the show every
had a
episode.
whole entirely different thing planned.
We did.
Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, and then we probably will still end up using that, but after we decided it was going to be the Happy Cakes episode, we thought we'd do something appropriately sweet enough.
Gotta do something sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't compete with it, but we can put our own spin on it.
That's the thing. This is pretty much for people who want Happy Cakes but don't want to leave their house.
Well, you're not getting Happy Cakes if you don't leave your house. Let's be real. But at least we can get that little like sweet tooth bug.
Get some sugar in you.
Get a little sugar for you.
But full disclosure, we haven't actually done this yet. We just found it, have been drooling at our desks on the computer at it.
Well, I mean, it's like we were saying. We did that whole other bit, and it was like, well, why didn't we do something sweet for this episode? So let's just go ahead and get one that applies a little better.
Yeah. And I actually have had this that we're about to talk about. I think at the North Carolina State Fair.
You read my mind.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was gonna compare it to.
Yeah, but I've definitely had this. I've just never done it myself.
Never done it myself either
until this weekend.
The good news is, uninclined as we sound, with this, that's the good thing about it. It's easy. I think pretty much anybody old enough to handle a grill, can take care of no problem.
Well, that's the nice thing too is all right. We buried the lead.
We probably should mention what we're talking
about.
We're
talking about grilled donuts, everybody. Guys, grilled donuts. Grilled donuts, guys.
Before you fast forward or you just tune yourself out, and even worry about it. We're not even making our own donuts on this.
Nope.
We went right. Well, I'm planning on going right to the store and getting some. Now you can use your own little personal preference of donuts. Personally, just moving back home when I was in Raleigh, I live not too far away from
good old Krispy Kreme.
You know it.
North Carolina's own.
North Carolina's own Krispy. They're the best.
Yeah, they're so good.
There's so many good donuts out there.
Yeah,
they're the best. I'm sorry. Email us, Facebook us, whatever.
Tweet us.
You got
whatever you want to do.
Your argument, but there's a reason. There's a reason Krispy Kreme has a Hot Light app.
Absolutely.
Available is you want to know as soon as the hot donuts are rolling off that little conveyor belt.
Absolutely. We're not going to name any names of other companies that are less so.
Free plug for Krispy Kreme. Or send me a dozen.
Yeah, we're not about putting people down, but we are about raising people up. Krispy Kreme is of the highest order.
Good. That's the ones I personally, if you're available in your area, wherever you happen to be listening from.
And I think most grocery stores, especially around here, have them.
They usually have them
shipped in and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So just go to your local grocery store, local convenience store, whatever your little local shop is, you can pick up some donuts.
Yep.
Pick you up a few. Of course, that's going to vary depending on how many people you're trying to feed. If it's just yourself, maybe you just grab one out the case. If it's going to be you and a few friends or something. In fact, that's what I'm planning on. We're having a little grill out over at my house this weekend, so I'll probably just grab a dozen. Before we cook up the real food.
Right.
The good thing about it, too, is the recipe that I came across is, kind of towards the end. Of course, you're going to have dessert at the end of your meal.
Sure.
By that, especially if you're using a charcoal grill, your coals are going to be a little on the lighter side by then.
Dull side.
Yeah, it's not flame broiled like your burgers are going to be or whatever you have to be cooking. So it's good that the grill is actually cooling off but still warm enough. Basically, you just take your donut, cut it in half, kind of like you would like a bagel.
Like a bagel,
people would like toast their bagels. You just cut it in half. Same thing with the donuts. Cut it in half, throw it on there, keep an eye on it. Make sure that, you don't burn it too much.
Right.
Varies depending on how your personal preference is. You want a little char or whatever on there.
Yeah.
But, just stand around. It shouldn't take long, even with those grills cooling off. It doesn't take too long.
I would think probably no more than a few minutes total.
Yeah. Hit it with both sides. Make sure you get a good little toast on each side.
Yeah.
The thing about the recipe I came across that was good is they suggested some other things to do once you've done that. Because sure, you can just go ahead and grill it up and just eat a grilled donut. That's delicious in its own right.
Nothing wrong with that.
A good thing that the recipe I came across was we'll have to throw a link up there on it.
Yeah, the link will be up on this episode's page. Anybody
that's listening, just take a second to go check it out or go to our website. It'll all be on there. And take like a little bit of fruit. Personal preference. I'm a pineapple guy. I think grilled pineapple is amazing.
It is very good. I'm not a huge pineapple fan, but I will admit that grilled pineapple is superior to regular ungrilled pineapple.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of grilled peaches. If anyone out there hasn't had grilled peaches, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah. You need to give it a try if you like peaches in general.
Yeah.
Or pineapple or any of these fruits.
Yeah.
Something about putting anything on the grill just makes it that much better.
It really does. It's amazing how that works, but it's completely true.
A neat one too. I'm going to have to do a couple batches. I guess what that doesn't know I'm planning on picking up is because I've got kids, so they can't have the sample that I want to try, but they also suggest in the recipe I'm looking at, sprinkle a little rum on there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if you want a little cinnamon, powdered sugar, things like that.
Yep.
You could probably add as it's on the grill or probably even afterwards. Either way, shouldn't hurt a little bit. If you're going to do the rum for the adult donuts that I'm going to do, probably want to do that beforehand.
Yeah.
But sprinkle it on there.
Let it soak in a little bit.
Yeah. Give it a chance to soak in some of the flavor a little bit before you put it on the grill. Most anything else, though, you can do before or after, during.
Yeah.
Whatever your personal preference is, throw a little bit on there. Another thing that I thought was a good idea that they suggested was you've now cut your donut in half. You've got it toasted both sides on the grill. If you got a little ice cream in the freezer, it's starting to warm up. Summertime's upon us.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be outside grilling. Take a little ice cream. Smear that on one of those.
Like a bagel and cream cheese.
Yes, but better.
But so much better.
Make
it's
you
so
a little,
much worse.
Make you a little grilled donut ice cream sandwich.
Oh, my God. What are you doing to me right now?
I mean, luckily I'm about to cut out here and go try this before the weekend hits. I don't even.
And I'm
care.
looking. You've got the recipe pulled up on your tablet right now. I'm looking over across the office at my computer, and there's just a giant plate of grilled donuts and fruit on it, and it just looks so good. It also looks like the recipe they suggest doing sort of like a brownie sundae type thing, but the donut is the base with the ice cream and stuff on top instead of a brownie. Which
instead of making a sandwich out of it, you just use that to kind of
throw it all in a bowl.
Oh man!
Oh God!
This is when they need to what would radio and smells like?
Smell-o-vision. What would be
I don't know.
What would be the audio version of smell-o-vision?
Message us your suggestions. But if they had that right now, that's what we need because it looks delicious. The idea sounds delicious. Maybe next episode I'll tell you how good it turned out because I'm going to give this one a shot immediately.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, too. This is just so easy to do. I mean, really, theoretically, you could do it in your house as well, and throw them under the broiler for a couple minutes inside, anything like that. But that's what I like. I've actually done a couple of similar things to this dessert wise, where you basically just use like the dying coals in the grill once you're done, and throw some dessert. Well, what I've done is take some aluminum foil and put some fruit and whatever, and mix up just like a simple batter. Pour it in there and just like wrap the aluminum foil up, and you just throw it right down like on the dying coals and let it essentially bake for a few minutes, and then you've got like a rustic cobbler type thing. Yeah.
Why didn't I eat before we started recording?
This is a terrible idea to do this towards the end of the day when we're far removed from lunch.
I'm going to throw it to a little segue to the next segment because I'm scared that the growling on my stomach's going to start getting picked up by these microphones.
Absolutely. So. Please, guys, go to the website to check out a link to this recipe, or just really suggestions or what to put on your donuts. But we're going to throw it to a break, and when we come back from the break, please stay tuned for our interview with Angela from HappyCakes Cupcakery.
HappyCakes, delicious cupcakery. This episode of the Lookout Cookout is brought to you by Zion Consulting, offering services in graphic and website design, software development, and business consulting. Want to take your business to the next level? Visit zioncg.com and let Zion Consulting go the extra mile for you. All right, so this is an episode that I've been looking forward to. Levi knows that I've got a little girl at home, a couple little girls, but one specifically was talking me out of trying to come out this afternoon because she wanted to make sure and try and take my place.
Oh.
And I couldn't let her skip school. So I got to make sure before we go that we get some cupcakes to take home. Today we're actually recording at HappyCakes Cupcakery here in Morehead City. I'm super excited, probably our best smelling episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. So just want to welcome Angela Diaz from HappyCakes for inviting us in and letting us do this little interview. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Sticking out for us. Should be a fun one.
Absolutely.
My belly's already rumbling.
Oh yeah, I've already got a list of an order from the wife. I think our boss does as well.
Yeah, we'll probably have to get all that before you leave.
Yeah.
So just a quick rundown. Everything I got off you guys' website. So those that maybe aren't familiar with what you guys do or haven't exactly looked into it too much, other than just driving by or coming in and grabbing some cupcakes and running. Experimenting back in 2011 with your recipes and getting everything in order as I guess when you started it. And then in the fall of 2012, you started an online delivery service. From there, you got on the Cupcake Wars in spring of 2013, of course, winning that episode. It was a mother-daughter episode, I believe, for the LA Bridal Bash.
actually. It was me and my daughter-in-law.
Daughter-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
But it was a mother-daughter episode. So
Yeah, pretty good episode.
yeah.
It's hard to keep all of them straight, but that was a good one that we liked at our house.
Absolutely.
And from there, you guys started out, before you got the storefront that we're in now, you started selling out of the Redfish Grill.
Correct.
On the Morehead City waterfront.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, fast forward to May 2014, you got this wonderful store that we're in now that you've been going through. So we're creeping up on the 1 year anniversary,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken. Now, I got to ask, is that the technical anniversary? Like, is that what you guys celebrate, or is that earlier, sooner?
I don't know yet. I mean, I guess we're going to celebrate that one, and then also July 4th was when we reopened the second time. So
Right.
You guys had a little incident.
Two grand openings. So yeah,
Had a little incident a few days after
Right.
the first opening.
About 3 weeks or so?
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're open 3 weeks.
Well, it looks like you guys have recovered wonderfully.
We sure
It
did.
smells wonderful. It looks good. The shop is beautiful. If you guys haven't checked it out already, definitely come by and just look at the shop, pick up some cupcakes while you're here. So I wanted to know how you got into baking. I mean, obviously you just sit and pick it up one day and then all of a sudden you got on TV and opened the shop immediately. Was that something that you always wanted to do, or that you had been doing your whole life? Like, my wife bakes at home for fun, but she doesn't have any intentions to try and open a business for it. So
Yeah.
what got you interested in baking?
I never really expected to open a business with baking. My husband and I actually own another business. So yeah, it was just a hobby since my kids were little. So for the last 25 years. And then my daughter-in-law and I she moved here and with my son, and her and I started baking, and we got into cupcakes, watching Cupcake Wars, trying to do different flavors and experiment with ingredients, and got really into that, and kind of made it our goal to go on Cupcake Wars one day.
Right.
So it was almost like Cupcake Wars that inspired us to do the cupcakes. And then we just started taking them to parties and showers and whatever. And then it just kind of took off. We had a lot of friends that
Just
started saying, these are so
snowballed, yeah.
good. You should start selling them.
Yeah.
And it just really started word of mouth.
And normally when you hear from your friends, these are so good, you should start, you should open a business. It's normally set you up immediately for failure.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's worked out so far, I think.
Yeah,
So.
it sure has. Yeah, but it's something I've always loved doing. I just never expected that it would take off to this
Right.
point.
Sure.
So.
I mean, it's just wonderful how it all worked out too. I mean,
Yeah.
I went back and rewatched your audition tape. You guys have it posted on the website. We'll make sure we plug that. It's the HappyCakes Cupcakery.com.
Don't forget the
Yeah, it's a mouthful, just like your cupcakes. But I went back and looked at your audition tape, and I was just amazed because, I think at home, I don't know how I am compared to anybody else that watches television and wonders how people get on there. But you guys really took the time and effort to edit it and do it right. And
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine what everybody else's audition tapes look like, but you guys went the extra mile.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun with that.
It
looks
looked
like
like
it.
a
We
lot of
really
fun.
did. We really wanted to make it different, and
Yeah.
'cause of course we watched a lot of them, and because you can find them on YouTube,
Sure.
all different ones, people that got on and people that didn't get on,
Successful and not so
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
and a lot were a little dry, and so we just wanted to have fun with it. And
Absolutely.
we did. We had a great time doing it.
Well, I think you did, because that's kind of my biggest pet peeve with reality shows and cook-off shows is a lot of the personalities of the people on them are just kind of grating. But I think with y'all's, you made such a good point with the video of it was unique and it was fun, but you just seemed like
It
very
didn't
nice
seem like
people.
it was put on for show at
Yeah,
all. You
exactly.
could tell you guys were genuine
That's
with
the thing that made it a little difficult when we were trying to come up with the concept for the video is neither of us are dramatic.
Right.
So it was hard coming up with something where we could be dramatic and show at least some fun personality.
Right.
Um,
Because they do need that for the
right.
show.
They
Yeah.
want that. And so that's kind of why we did the whole black and white
Yeah.
thing to make it really, kind of ridiculously
Yeah.
dramatic. And
Absolutely.
to where
That was my
you kind of
favorite
know you're
part.
acting
Yeah.
because we would never
Yeah.
be like that. So yeah, that's kind of why we came up with
I
that.
thought it was genius. It reminded me of, maybe I'm telling my age a little bit, but the old I Love Lucy shtick with the
Yeah.
conveyor belt. I think,
Yeah.
was it chocolate covered
Yeah.
cherries?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, that's what it reminded me of. It was great. These guys were covered in ingredients at the
Yeah.
end, though.
Almost.
A little bit, yeah. Speaking of the TV, so what exactly is the process as far as TV? You see the finished product when you watch the show, and And for those maybe who haven't seen that are listening at home to the podcast, I just noticed it's on Netflix as well.
It
that
sure
particular
is.
season.
So just came on Netflix.
Yeah. So I mean that's kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for, Levi?
Serendipitous.
It's a bragging rights in its own respect. I mean, Netflix is big at my house.
Yeah,
so.
being on Netflix is a big deal.
National TV, and you're on Netflix.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to watch. But like, as far as what you see with the finished product in that episode, like what goes on behind the scenes? Is there any like inside scoop or anything like you just wouldn't have thought of before you went and did the filming?
Because obviously you were a fan of the show.
Right,
Yeah. That was kind of the point.
Yeah. You have to sign a confidentiality agreement before you go on.
Sure.
So there's obviously some stuff I can't talk about.
Makes sense.
Right.
But we were surprised with the time. Like we kind of thought like there's no way they can get all that done, you know.
Right.
But yeah, it's real time. And so when you're having to do everything in that amount of time, plus you have producers coming around and, you know, like, oh, repeat what you just said, or what are you doing? You know, you're counting eggs, you're measuring flour, and they're talking to you and they want you to talk. And like I said, my daughter-in-law and we just work silently together.
Right.
So that was interesting, having to talk about everything you did and report when you put cupcakes in the oven and, you know, all that stuff.
You're not at home doing a full-blown interview when you're cooking normally.
Yeah. And so, you know, we were just wanting to work and get it all done because you have this time limit.
Right.
And obviously they needed a little personality. So it had to...
End of the day, they have a show to run.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to be a little more interesting than us working in silence.
Than just cooking.
Yeah. So that was, I guess, surprising at how... you know, accurate that was and how crazy. Yeah, crazy getting everything done at the last.
We don't have time to think about what you're saying either because you're so busy with the work that you're doing.
Because at the end of the day, they have a show to run, and at the end of the day, you're trying to win.
Right, exactly. So. And like our one of the other competitors, she was frosting with her hands at the end because she was running out of time, and so yeah, it was just crazy.
That was the team that I think ended up going to the finals with you guys. Yeah. Which I guess that goes to show, and you could just get it done. Yeah. Sometimes.
Well, and we're just focused on what we're doing, so we really had no idea what was going on around us.
That was the part that was interesting to me was, I mean, how much, aside from the kind of the judging times, do you really interact with the other people that much?
Not really.
Seems like you would be kind of in your own world.
We each had our own dressing rooms, and we each, you know, would go back to our own spaces in between. And another thing that surprised me was, you know, how you see the judges trying each cupcake, and so the second round, they're trying 9 cupcakes. There's, you know, 3 teams left. Each one has made 3 cupcakes. Right. And I used to think for sure they take a break or something in between trying all those cupcakes, but they don't. I mean, they just, you know, it's just like you see it.
Mowing down on cupcakes the entire time.
Yeah, so.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, absolutely. That is very much a monkey's paw dream wish come true.
Was there any one of the, I mean, as a fan of the show, you watched the show before you went on there, was there any one of the judges you were worried about or like, oh no, it's...
Florian is brutal.
Yeah.
You know, he's scary. He's scary. And, but they were all nice after, you know, it was just during that time because we didn't get to meet them ahead of time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so, you know, going before them and you're standing there and he's giving the mean look, you know, and so that was a little nerve wracking.
Was that put on, like, does he put that on for the cameras or is that like?
No, I'm pretty sure it's,
really him?
Pretty sure it's him. Yeah. And then the host, Justin Willman, he's just such a funny, nice guy, really nice. So when I would look at Florian and he had the, you know, scary face, I'd look over at Justin and he'd always be smiling. So
that's good.
That was my
easy way to take your mind off of it.
Just try to diffuse it. Yeah.
But yeah, they were really nice after. So.
Well, speaking of if I'm not mistaken, the show's stopped filming for a little while now.
Yeah, we were the last season.
Last season went out with a bang. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anyone from like either the show or the Food Network? Do you keep in contact with anybody? Do you ever hear about anything?
We do keep in contact with our other competitors. A couple of them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, especially the one we ended up with.
The other finalists.
Right. And so we email occasionally or Facebook or whatever and kind of keep in contact.
Trade secrets, those kind of things.
Yeah.
Not too much we could talk about right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure if they were planning like a Cupcake Wars reunion or something like that, you probably couldn't talk about it if that was the case.
Yeah.
Sure.
I wish they would, though.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, it seems like something that they would have kept up with. I mean, I don't know how many seasons off the top of my head that they did.
9.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of seasons. That's a lot of cupcakes. So,
Yeah.
like, again, at least they went out with the bang. So
Right.
I got you guys.
Do we want to go ahead and just officially announce season 10 right now? It's just us.
I think if it's between me, you, and Miss Angela, we are in trouble.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Well, 2 of us are.
So, with all the lighthearted talk too, there was something that I noticed coming in. I saw on your website that you guys donate a percentage of your sales to a special cause. It's called Wipe Every Tear.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to educate some of our listeners in case they're not familiar with it or they haven't checked it out. But Wipe Every Tear, for those that don't know, they exist to bring freedom, hope, and future to girls trafficked in the sex trade. They provide a way out in general, as well as things like safe houses for those in transition. Of the said circumstances. They also help provide the means of education as far as costs, tuition, books, everything involved with educating themselves and making a life for themselves afterwards. And kind of to solidify to quote unquote the breaking of the chains of their experiences after the sex trafficking. We'll make sure we plug them too. You can visit their website at wipeeverytear.org. It's a pretty heavy subject, so I just want to get some questions out of the way as far as that. One, what made you want to involve yourself with a charity in general, and then 2, why is Wipe Every Tear so close and near and dear to your heart? I guess. What made you choose that?
Well, in general, it's just for us, it's a biblical principle of giving, and so right from the beginning, that was just a given.
Absolutely.
We're giving 10% of all of our sales, so that was just in our foundation from the beginning. As far as that, we had a personal connection because the man that started it was actually Kaylee's history teacher when she went to school. And a few years ago, he started this organization. And so at first, it was just such small scale giving. It was a little here and there when we were doing it out of our house. And just made a commitment to continue doing that. And of course, the giving grew. And we just kind of solidified that, okay, this will be the organization we give to instead of maybe spreading it around or whatever. And it's just been so neat to hear and see that, HappyCakes had a hand in them being able to open a second house for the girls.
Yeah. That's
and I think now they're up to 3 or 4. And, so it's just cool, you that, wow, selling cupcakes in Morehead City can make a difference for girls in the Philippines. So.
Absolutely. And that's the thing too. Like you said, you had it already. It was kind of a non-negotiable of this is going to happen. So it's just a matter of finding the right cause for it. And unfortunately, it's kind of shocking how few companies are really like that. So it's really nice that you're a relatively small business. How many employees do you have?
We're up to 7 now.
Yeah, that's fantastic. But it's
still small.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a matter of other businesses, thousands of employees that don't bother with things like that. So I think our listeners are very happy to hear that there's such a good principle behind all of this, which is a pleasure. Really nice.
It's just an honor for us to be able to do it and
Absolutely.
see, have a hand in it. So
and it seems like it's something that's kind of near and dear to
Definitely.
you all. So that's great.
I mean, of course, with me asking the question, I knew about it, but I didn't know it was so personal.
Yeah.
With Kaylee and it being her history teacher, that's got to be a nice perk of what you do on top of it all. Is I imagine you guys still have a rapport with him, so you can actually converse about what's going on and where
her
it's
dad
going.
actually has taken a few trips over there, so he brought us back pictures and the man who runs it also sends us pictures and emails and updates all the time. So that's neat because our thing is if we're going to give, I'm not going to be like, oh, I want to see where my money's going. We have a heart of giving, and so we feel like God's going to honor that no matter what. But that being said, it is neat to see
exactly
the impact and get those emails and those thank yous and the pictures and everything and just see what's happening. So.
Yeah, it's nice to see kind of your donations having a direct effect on everything that's going on. Yeah,
that's kind of what I was thinking. Is it's so easy for people to just put their money in a jar or to send a letter somewhere.
Yeah.
But to actually see that your hard work and that the extra effort's going to a good cause and making some good is
right.
Is
And seeing those girls' faces, oh my goodness, you know how cool that is.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that's what's cool because it is, I guess you could call it a grassroots organization because, like you said, it did start out very small and it has grown. Is for all of your customers, like they can all, you know, when they come in and make a purchase, they can then go to what was the website?
wipeeverytear.org.
Yeah, I mean they can go there and see like this is what their money is doing,
right?
That
they're having a small part in it also.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's fantastic.
It's got to be a snowball effect too. I imagine someone comes in here and gets one of your delicious cupcakes, and then they find out, and then they, like Levi was saying, go and visit the website.
Yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of people who will donate directly after that. So. Yeah, that's great.
Making the world better, one cupcake at a time.
Exactly. Yep.
Awesome.
It's the best possible way to do it.
Today's episode of the Lookout Cookout is brought to you by Lookout Adventures. If you're looking for a less crowded fishing excursion, if you want to hop from one of the necks to the Outer Banks' most beautiful barrier islands, stay on the boat for a personalized dolphin watch, or maybe just you want to book a private sunset cruise for you and that special someone, let Lookout Adventures be your guide. With many full and half-day options to choose from, there's an adventure waiting for everyone. For pricing, gift certificates, and more information, visit lookoutatadventures.com. So with that being said, let's pick it up a little bit more, I guess. Kind of walk us through like what a typical day is. Like when does your morning start? You know, I know you guys make a lot of cupcakes on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Well, we start at about 7, so not always as early as you would think.
Right.
Of course, the day before, you know, we're doing prep work and everything. So when we come in at 7, it's, you know, we're pretty much rolling seamlessly. So, but then on the weekends, we do have for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we do have a middle of the night baker. So that helps us. So
the overnight crew.
Yeah, exactly. So we still bake a lot once we get here, but at least that kind of gets us a head start. Absolutely. And for instance, Easter weekend, we sold, I believe, 1,700 cupcakes.
Wow.
So when you're baking everything fresh daily.
Was that over the course of the whole weekend or like just?
No, that was just Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, that was just Saturday. Same with Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah. You guys are closed on Sundays, right? So
Sure,
people were smart. They knew they were going to be with their family.
Right.
It's like
but the kids get their candy from the Easter Bunny, or the grown-ups are getting their treats from you guys.
Yeah. And sometimes it's, you'll be able to see our kitchen. It's not a huge kitchen.
Right.
We have a few bakers. And so there really is, when you're baking everything fresh daily, there's only so much you can do in a day. Like it's just, there's a limit to our physical capability. So like Valentine's Day, we were sold out by 5:30.
I can imagine.
And there's just nothing else you can do at that point,
Which is a great problem to have.
Yeah, definitely.
Which anybody that's listening and their significant others, you should know better than to wait till last minute.
Exactly. Yeah, don't wait till 6 o'clock Valentine's Day.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's the only challenge sometimes when you sell out early and people come and not always happy, but we just try to emphasize to people we're baking everything fresh today. Yeah. And so there is a limit to what we can do.
You could very easily have cupcakes all the time if you baked ahead of time.
If we would freeze,
but
we could definitely.
That kind of it takes away from the kind of the point of having
and our standard.
Like yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Their day starts minus the prep work that you did the day before, night before. What's a rough count? Like how many cupcakes are we talking a day? Is there a certain number, or does sometimes things happen?
Do you have a goal that you hit to try and make for the day, or do you kind of
work
it out?
We do. We have a goal, and of course every day is different. Right. So Monday and Tuesday are our slowest days, so they're the least amount of cupcakes. Usually around 500. And then every day after that starts building. Wednesday gets a little busier, Thursday,
Saturday,
and then by Saturday it's really busy. And that's right now. So once summer hits, 500 won't be enough for Monday and Tuesday.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. Is I guess a follow-up question to that is, this area is known for tourism and things like that. Do you definitely see sales go up like anyone else in the summertime?
Definitely.
I mean, people are coming from all over the country. They've probably seen you.
It'll be really interesting this year just because last year, because of the accident, we were closed during June. So we didn't get to see how that went. But and then July was crazy. It was season. and our grand opening.
Right.
But like this year, so many more people know about us.
Yeah.
So I'll be curious to see how this July is.
Yeah, because last year I guess you didn't really get to see the transition from like summer starting going into summer, because you opened in May, you were open for about 3 weeks, closed for
6 weeks.
Yeah, and then immediately back to July 4th. And
right.
So you don't get to see that kind of step up. So I think that my guess is you're going to be busy.
Yeah. Well, we got a little taste a couple weeks ago. It was spring break in Raleigh and Durham.
Yeah.
So that week was insane. Crazy all week long. So we got a little taste. Yeah. And we, just like it does in this area, everything gets busier as you lead up to summer.
Absolutely. So, and then it's crazy for 3 months, and it kind of slowly
and starts slowly. Luckily, it's like, builds up and then it slowly goes down. So.
At least this year, hopefully, it'll be a little more gradual. You don't have to hit the ground running so hard.
Right. Yeah. That's what I told them, the other owners and employees, that last year was, it was like 0 to 60, but this year it's gradual. Yeah. So we're a little slower in January. February got busier, March got busier. So we're building up to it, so it's not going to be quite as much of a shock.
And you have the holiday weekends kind of sprinkled in throughout there, kind of your little test runs almost for it. Yeah. At least now you're prepared for it.
Mm-hmm. It's also wedding season, so
true. Yeah.
Now until October, we'll be really busy with weddings also. So that kind of throws another little.
I imagine that was a huge thing when you were like first starting out before the Cupcake Wars show, before the storefront, when you were doing the online thing. How, like percentage or number wise necessarily, but how big a part of your daily business are things like that, like the weddings and
back then
parties?
That was I would say probably 70% was weddings and rehearsal dinners and things like that. And then a lot of lawyers' offices ordering a couple dozen for birthday parties or whatever. So it was mainly that, because we did a minimum of a dozen. The order had to be a minimum of a dozen. So it wasn't usually for just somebody at their house. It was usually they were having a party or something like that. So that's what I love about this. Somebody can come in and get 1 or 2 cupcakes.
Yeah.
So it's just, nice that they don't have to buy bulk or whatever.
You don't have to worry about a deadline or do you guys deliver with those kinds of stuff? So people still have to come pick them up. So
yeah, and everything is first come, first serve.
Yeah.
So that's, makes it.
Which I get up early in the morning,
too.
so I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
I'll come in here before work.
Early bird gets the cupcake.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Talking about new things and whatnot, are there any like unusual flavors or that you've either maybe already tried or you've had in the back of your head, without giving away too many secrets? I know you don't want to give anybody else the idea before you have a chance to get around it, but was there anything that either maybe completely surprised you? You just, okay, let's give it a try, and it turned out above and beyond what you thought? Or is there anything that maybe like, okay, we're not going to try that one anymore?
Yeah. We do the bacon one. It's the maple bacon French toast. So
it's delicious. Seal of approval.
Yeah. That one people go crazy for.
Yeah,
so, and we spread that one out because it's very, very, very time intensive.
I can see.
And also a very expensive cupcake to make. And, as you know, we charge the same for all the cupcakes.
Yeah,
so
you charge by the number, not per whatever the cupcake is. Yeah.
I'd pay extra, by the way, for that one.
Yeah, I would pay a bacon premium.
So that one we spread out just because it's so time intensive, and but yeah, when we have that one, we always have a line waiting at the door when we open. Sure. And the first time, it had been a couple months since we had it, and the first time we had it in the storefront, and there was a line back to the pharmacy.
Oh wow.
And I think we made, I want to say 300 or 400 of just the bacon. Obviously, we had hundreds of other kinds, but sold out of it in 35 minutes.
Wow.
So there were people at the end of the line that had been waiting. So that was, that was a little hard, but what do you do?
Yeah, you got to pick another flavor.
We can only make so much.
Right, we can only make so many. So, but it's calmed down a little. That was the first time we did it in the storefront. Now they last a couple hours, so... but yeah, there's always a line. There's always, people asking for that one. And we really try to come up with at least a couple new flavors every month. This past month, we did tiramisu is one of our new ones. Pecan coffee cake. Those are really good ones. and more springy ones are coming
trolling.
up with. And so, yeah, we just try to do new ones and then really rotate all the flavors because we have people all the time calling about certain flavors, and we're just trying to get through them all in a month.
Yeah.
So that
Have you ever gotten a completely ridiculous request like, hey, I want
spinach.
XYZ ingredient?
not too many crazy requests. Most of the requests we have are like for special decorations.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's our one thing that we do not do is we use no artificial flavors or colorings. None. So, we don't do fondants. We don't do pink pink
Right.
frosting or blue frosting or, it's just our thing. We, will not use that stuff.
And I don't think anybody's going to fault you for having that
Right.
stance.
Yeah. And so usually when we tell people that, they're like, oh, that's great. I
Yeah.
appreciate that you're not using the, junk stuff. But yeah, that's the only thing, people that want special colors or special decorations.
Sure.
And have to turn them down for that. But
I got to remember from the episode too, you guys had some pretty awesome decorations.
We
So
did,
if
we
you ever
did.
did want to expand,
We
it looks like
did.
it wouldn't be a problem.
yeah, we did use some fondant then and some of the colored melting chocolate and
So
stuff like that.
skill
So,
set and the knowledge is not the problem.
Right,
It's
yeah.
more of a quality thing.
Definitely.
Sure.
Because we personally don't like the way that tastes.
Sure.
Right.
We don't do red velvet cupcakes for that reason. We do our
No,
version
it's
is black
red
velvet.
Yeah, which is still delicious.
Yeah. Basically, red velvet's basically chocolate cake with a whole bottle of food coloring in it.
Yeah.
So
For
we
Southerners
just
who
leave,
don't know that.
we just leave that part out.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just, it's our standard. We want everything high quality. All of our, like say our raspberry frosting or strawberry frosting, it's just fresh fruit, pureed and put in our
And they still
buttercream.
look wonderful. I mean, that's the thing. You're not putting any of that
Yeah.
extra,
Yeah.
unhealthy stuff in there.
Yeah.
A typical, say, strawberry frosting would be just strawberry extract.
Right.
Maybe a little red food coloring to turn it pink. And we just want to use, high quality, fresh ingredients. And so that's why we just use the fresh fruit. And
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that too, and everything. Full disclosure to our listeners, I'm completely biased when it comes to this place because I get cupcakes from y'all a lot more than I probably should. But and that's the thing too. I think when you get cupcakes from a lot of places or cake or whatever, it a lot of times just tastes like sugar. And I think that's what's great about this place is it doesn't. It actually tastes like the ingredients that are in the name of whatever cupcake it is. I mean, it's still sweet, obviously. It's still a
Right.
cupcake, but it tastes natural. it tastes
That's what
like
we're
the
going
things
for.
are-
So
yeah.
good.
And it really makes a difference. It's almost like a public service that you're educating people on what their mind's telling them that they, almost my whole life, you see things on TV, you see them, in pictures and think it's supposed to be a certain way. And then in reality, it's all those additives and
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
so
Which- try to have something for everybody. And, the standard, most places you'll go, the standard, what they call buttercream it's called American buttercream, and it's not really buttercream at all.
Right.
It's basically powdered sugar and butter, if you're lucky, or powdered sugar and lard.
Right.
And ours is a Swiss meringue buttercream. A lot longer process. You saw us on Cupcake Wars, probably like over the stove,
Yeah.
stirring it, and so it's a lot more difficult, a lot longer process. But that's what gives you that light buttercream that doesn't taste like what you would typically get. So
Right.
we do have a couple of them that is a little bit more like the American buttercream, a little sweeter. Very few though. And most people like that. That's kind of our signature, I would say, is the buttercream. Most people are like, I like this so much better because it tastes lighter. It's not so sweet, like
Exactly.
you said.
Yeah, it's not just sugar.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's a few people that want that sweet American buttercream,
Sure.
which is fine because everybody
Everybody's
has their
different.
Yeah.
different
That's what a lot of
ways they
people-
make things.
A lot of people were raised on that
right,
kind of thing
exactly.
too.
Yeah.
same time, people don't realize how much better for you, as well as taste wise, the more natural stuff is though.
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing that stuck out in the back of my head too that I was going to ask about is they gave you a hard time on your episode about the salt butter.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a particular reason you went with that?
We always
versus-
use salted butter. Still do. You'll
kind of
see
like a
up there on
Southern
the
thing, too,
chalkboard that says we're still using salted butter.
Yeah.
Part of the issue of that was we had to use different ingredients there, obviously. We have a particular butter that we use, and, never vary at all. We're really specific with our ingredients. And there, we had to use a different brand, had a higher salt content. So I think that's what made it a little more salty. I believe in our rushing, we actually added a little salt also.
Right.
So it was saltier than normal. However, the other judge, Candace, liked that. She said, I like the sweet salty.
Right.
But it was Florian who
It's just a
said,
shocker.
are you using salted butter? And we're like, yeah.
Welcome to the
The
South.
cupcake fist of doom slammed down.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but that's, another thing that's, our kind of signature way that we do things.
I think it's great after the episode you guys stuck with it then.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems so natural for me. I was like, it's from the South. That's
Yeah,
of course.
what we do.
Mhm.
Well, I think that's a testament too. Like you said, you were using different brands there, and obviously you
Right.
were on a very strict time limit. But that's a testament to how just down you have that process of you're like, okay, I know exactly how much I need of this particular butter, and so obviously you're not in the Cupcake Wars kitchen here, so
Right.
you know exactly.
Much
everything.
easier here.
Yeah, a lot more relaxed.
Yeah.
If that's one of the things you're allowed to talk about, what are you allowed to? I don't even know what I'm trying to ask. You can't prep anything and bring it with you. Is there anything they allow you to bring in, or special tools that you?
Equipment, yeah,
We
yeah.
flew, so of course we couldn't really take much.
Filmed in LA, right?
We took our pans because we like the way the
Okay.
cupcakes bake in our pans.
Sure.
I have seen where some people will bring their own mixer or their, certain things.
So they do allow that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
obviously, it kind of gives a bit of a geographical advantage to the people nearby.
Right, exactly. And you can, the second round is pretty open.
Right.
You're having to come up with the decorations.
Right.
But as far as flavors, you want to come up with flavors that will go with that theme or whatever. But still, since it's pretty open, you can at least in your head say second round, we know we want to make a chocolate cake. We know we want to make a fruity cake.
Right.
Or, you can kind of at least come up with a little in your head.
Have
So,
a bit of a game plan before you
Yeah,
go. Because
yeah.
obviously, like you said, big fan of the show, watched, I
right.
imagine, every episode.
Studied it.
Yeah,
and-
so
yeah.
you know the kind of the process of
Right.
the show. So you can at least be like, okay, well, in the second round, we have this that we can play with. So
Yeah,
we
a
can
little
think
bit
ahead
of
time.
freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we kind of had a good strategy, I think, going into it, which was just hurry and get your cupcakes in the oven because people run out of time all the time,
It's the most infuriating thing.
Yeah. And so we were like, get them in the oven, work on everything else after that. So
Right.
that was our strategy for every round. And it helped. We always were putting our cupcakes in the oven
Yeah.
first, getting them out first. And, like I said, I don't know what other people were doing, but getting to watch it later,
Yeah.
they weren't getting them in, necessarily.
Some of them went in with a wing and a prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just my personal opinion.
Yeah. And
You
our
guys-
thing was, don't worry about any of the frostings or anything else yet.
Right.
Just get your cupcakes in the oven because they take a long time to cool. That's the problem we face here is, why at a certain point of the day you have to stop baking. It's a 2-hour process by the time you're doing your batters, putting them in the oven, taking them out, letting them cool off, frost them. It's 2 hours.
Right.
So, you think in that first round we had 45 minutes. So our goal was get the cupcakes in the oven and then we put them in the freezer, to try to cool them off fast.
Right.
So, but we knew, going into it,
Yeah.
that's going to be an issue. So, and ours as fast as we were, as I was frosting, I could see it sliding a little bit. I was like, oh.
Crossing your
Yeah.
fingers.
We're
Yeah.
down, yeah.
Please hold together.
What paid off, obviously. With all the talk of the business and the show and whatnot, Lookout Cookout is all about the area and everything. What, I don't know, brings you to the area? Did you grow up around here? What do you enjoy about the area? What makes you call
Why here?
Carteret County and Morehead
Yeah.
City home?
My husband and I actually moved here 10 years ago from Florida and opened a different business. And we just love the area. I just have no regrets. It's just such a wonderful area. And
We would agree.
Yeah, the coast was an obvious. We had been in Miami, and then we had been in near Vero Beach, and so we knew we have to go somewhere on the coast.
You're not moving away from the beach.
Yeah, no choice.
It's a lot of coast to narrow it down to Morehead City, though.
Yeah. So obviously we love that. Love boating and water sports and all that stuff.
Sure.
I just love the smallness of the community. Yet, for us, it's been so neat seeing people so supportive of our business.
Oh yeah.
When we won Cupcake Wars, and then our grand opening, and then when the car ran through, everybody just
came together.
Has been so supportive and
Yeah.
kind, and that's just been really neat to see. Where people almost, because it's a small community, people almost feel invested in you.
Yeah.
And I just love seeing that. You never would get that in a big city.
Absolutely.
I think living in Raleigh, as much as I've always felt like Raleigh was a small town, big city, even there you don't see that all the time.
Yeah.
So I completely understand.
Yeah, you definitely feel the community part
You
of
do.
the town when you live in Morehead or Beaufort or anything like that. Yeah, it doesn't feel you feel like you live in a place with a few hundred people because
Right.
you feel like you know everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everyone's, well, not everyone, but the 99% of the population is super friendly.
Mhm.
Everybody's really supportive of things like new businesses and
Exactly.
things like that. Yeah, you can certainly understand. I feel like more and more people are kind of showing up here.
Mhm.
It seems to be kind of the stop along the way, either going north or
Right.
south. And I'm really happy for that because the economy's growing, the community's growing,
Mhm.
but we still have all of our local people here, and all of our local people are here. We have jobs, we have money to spend,
Right.
so it's just a matter of getting the right businesses in here and us kind of supporting that.
Mhm.
So I like seeing places like this as opposed to corporate chains and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. And even other businesses were so supportive of us.
Oh yeah.
Chick-fil-A, hey, if you run out of anything, let us know. It's just
Trying
it's
to
been
bribe you with
really
some chicken
neat.
sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Make an exchange.
that's fantastic. And that's the thing too. I say corporate chains, but even around here, the people who own the Chick-fil-A and things like that, they're all super nice.
Right.
It's really, you don't get that very many places.
It is rare.
Yeah.
It really is rare.
And it's great.
Hmm. I love owning a business here. It's
Yeah.
great.
That's good.
With the location too, and the people traveling in and out of town, pretty much year round, but especially during the summertime, peak summer season in tourism. Was that a decision maker in trying to choose this location, or was it just the draw that this place came available? How did you pick this exact
particular-
This actual
okay.
shop,
Well, we were selling at Redfish Grill,
which is downtown
And-
Morehead.
Which is, it's a great location in Sunrise.
Right.
You're on the waterfront.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
and that was awesome. Once again, another business being supportive and giving us a chance to, be able to sell our product
Yeah.
and
Kind of get your legs up.
yeah,
Starting out.
so that was really neat. So at first, when we first started selling there, we really had in mind downtown Morehead.
Right.
We were looking around and had looked at this place before our episode ever came out, and before we had ever started selling downtown. Looked at it and talked to the landlord, and then kind of put it out of our mind because we weren't ready ready yet.
Right.
And so we just were looking at a bunch of different places, and it's in our head, all three of us, the owners, kept coming back to this place. There's something about this place that we really like.
Right.
We really could see it, how it would be set up and everything, and had kind of an idea in our head of what we wanted the decor to look like,
Right.
and it just seemed to fit. And so yeah, then after, I guess 6 months from the first time we looked at it, we called them again, and we're like, I think we really want this spot. So other than cars driving through, it's been a great location.
Yeah. I was going to say, that for those that don't know, it's
Perfect segue.
yeah. We got some post edit that we'll add some sound effects in. But I mean, it must work out really well because if those that don't know that are listening, it's right next to the Walmart in Morehead City, right in between Highway 24 and Highway 70.
Yeah,
So
it's in the shopping center with Maurice's and Medical Park Pharmacy.
you got it. So I
I think
mean,
it was a cell phone store maybe before now.
It had been, yep.
Yeah.
Mhm. So we had to
Good
do
mind.
quite a bit of work.
Yeah, which is funny
To get
because
it to
when
this
you
point.
walk into this shop, you can't imagine it being anything but this because it
Yeah.
just looks perfect out there for what you have in mind. And so when you walk in, you just assume this has just always been
Yeah.
here.
I couldn't
Took
imagine
a lot
it
of
being
work to
anything but
get it to that point.
Twice.
Yeah,
Good
twice.
point. Yeah, it definitely shows. I mean, it's wonderful. I could never imagine this being anything
Yeah.
Other than this,
Yeah.
you know, if you guys expand and ever grew somewhere else and bigger and better location, I would still walk in here no matter what the business was.
Just have
And
to
like-
just have to take over whoever's next door
Right.
and just knock the wall down.
Telling my grandkids, back in my day,
Yeah.
there was cupcakes there. With all that being said, is there any funny stories, just through your experiences, you know, lifelong baking, the show, anything that just stands out as like a funny story? Did anything crazy happen? That I Love Lucy moment I mentioned earlier when I'm recording. Is there something that you're just like, oh my goodness, the funniest, craziest, whatever happened?
Aside a card.
Besides the car.
Yeah.
That one wasn't so much fun.
Yeah. Not like, there's not one particular thing that I can think of. But I feel like we pretty much have those I Love Lucy moments daily. Like we just have such a fun crew here. So, you know, there's the occasional drop a whole tray of cupcakes or cookies.
That sounds tragic.
Yeah, it can be, depending on what time of day it is and how, you know,
how close you are to
how busy we're going to be that day. And, you know, of course, the slips and falls, like occasional burns, all, you know, all that fun stuff.
Sure.
That we just have such a fun crew. So it's like every day almost is that, you know, funny stories and funny things, and we're just laughing and singing and whatever all day. So
It really does feel, whenever I come in here, it feels like y'all are just kind of a big family, the owners.
we are
employees.
definitely.
And that's what's great too, is with a small business, which is great, is y'all are the owners. There's 3 owners, correct, including yourself. But obviously, you're not just the owners. Like, you work quite a bit, and so it's great to see. You know, y'all have a very hands-on approach with the business. You run the business daily, but you don't seem to ever let any kind of stress get to you. And I'm sure you do. I'm sure, you know, it's for anybody, but it just seems like y'all are super happy and just in a great mood whenever I come in, which is great, because it's how, when a customer comes into a cupcake store, that's how it should feel.
Yeah. Even on the crazy days, they're just like, you know, you can only do what you can do.
Absolutely.
And we're going to do it. You know, we're going to do everything we can today. And we have those, you know, 13-hour days, crazy days that we don't sit down ever the whole day.
Until you go to sleep.
But we just make the best of it, and we just have a ball. So
The effort definitely shows. I mean, it's like we were saying, Levi, it's hard to keep that mindset when you do get, it's obviously common. I mean, it's almost common knowledge how busy you guys are. That's obvious.
Right.
So to keep that throughout all of that is a testament to you guys and who you are as, you know, individuals. And in fact, too, I want to make sure, you know, Angela's sitting here with us for the actual episode, but it was your daughter-in-law, Kaylee, and your daughter, Amanda.
correct.
You guys are the co-owners.
Yes.
So maybe next time in the future we get a chance to sit down again. We'll make sure to get them in on it. But
Yeah.
would have mentioned
Great.
them and give them their celebrity moment
Status,
on the Lookout Cookout.
Yeah.
Our millions of listeners.
Well, we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the shop now, so maybe you know, 5-year anniversary we'll come back and see
definitely.
how everybody's doing.
Yeah.
By that point, I can imagine you'll have an empire.
And I can't speak for Levi, but I'll be in and out a lot of times before that anniversary.
You'll see me before the 5-year anniversary. You'll see me before the 1-year anniversary.
Yeah. Probably before the end of the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of the anniversaries and future anything, is there anything like you have in the back of your head or already have currently on like notes, on where the future is going to take you? Anything that your next step is with all this, or are you kind of taking it day by day?
We really wanted to get to that 1-year mark, first, but we have kind of thought a little bit about a food truck and, driving it to Jacksonville or Wilmington or whatever. So we've thought about that and, possibly opening another store, Raleigh, or I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
It's all right now, just kind of thinking and
it's all in that
looking into
early
things
planning stages.
and,
It's kind of like what would be best for y'all.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We just have we just kind of wanted to work on getting this established, and because like we said, this is our home,
Right.
and so this is really, I know it kind of sounds stupid, but like, wanting the people of Morehead to have a place that they could come to and get cupcakes and cookies and coffee, whatever.
It's as much a community service as it is a business.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. People would be like, yeah, right. But anyway. But yeah, so this was really what was important to us, was opening here and in our own community. And so yeah, the other stuff is, this is definitely the baby. So
Yeah.
the other stuff we'll see.
I was the baby in my family, so
Yeah, you know what it's like.
You know how that is.
I know how it was. Yeah. With the anniversary coming up, you guys got anything planned for that in particular? Like a cupcake of the day, or are you going to do something?
We will do something. Maybe we'll celebrate both anniversaries. Yeah.
And I'm sure, when on the page for this episode, we'll put links to your Facebook and all that. So I'm sure anything you plan to do will go up on there, because it seems like y'all are pretty active on the Facebook page. So
yes, very active.
that's where you see all of the flavors of the day and things like that.
Yeah.
I know, because my wife sends me screenshots of it every day.
Which is a nice part to mention too, if anybody hasn't gathered already from listening and speaking with you, that you guys are such an active part of everything in your social interactions and stuff. It's not like you just come in, clock in, make your cupcakes and leave. You guys are actually a big part of it firsthand. And I think that shows personally from my standpoint. I like when people are involved like that, instead of like, oh, I missed them again today when I walked in.
Yeah.
So it's a testament to you guys and who you are. So I've enjoyed it. I think we covered
Oh, I think we're
anything
great.
we wanted to cover.
I think we could probably just stay here.
I think so, yeah.
You're welcome to.
As far as expansion, I mean, we can get a little lesson in, Levi?
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead and get a cooking lesson in.
You were telling me on the way over here, though, you had something, you were born with half the taste buds of a normal person or something
Yeah,
like
so
that?
Really?
I can't actually taste anything, so
Yeah.
you'll probably have to do all of the tasting.
Yeah,
Really?
I'll go
That's
ahead
interesting.
and sacrifice myself
Yeah.
to any sampling that you need done while we're still here. I'll take that while Levi
Be the
packs up
guinea
everything.
pig.
But we thank you so much for sitting down with us and
Thank
taking
you.
time out of your day. I know you're super busy. We look forward to it. We want to make sure to let everybody know if you missed it before. Again, like Levi mentioned too, we'll have links up on our page, lookoutcookout.com, to your Facebook and all your
main
social
site.
media.
Yeah.
Your main site, I'll repeat, is HappyCakes Cupcakery.com. Make sure you get the in there.
Yes.
We're the same thing, thelookoutcookout.com. You guys forget the at the beginning. It's going to make a big difference.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
make sure you get that. It's thehappycakescupcakery.com. Find them on Facebook, their social media. Of course, come by the storefront. You guys are open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 7,
Correct.
right in the Morehead City, next to the Walmart, right off Highway 24. Go to the website if you forget or need a better
Need a phone number,
phone number.
address. Yeah, it's all there, but we will link all of this on the page. So if you're listening to this right now, just look at your computer that you're listening on.
look. If you're driving and listening, wait until you stop to look.
Yeah,
Please,
exactly.
please look. We'll have links to everything. Miss Angela, thank you so much again for
Thank
having us.
you
We
so
appreciate you
much.
being on
A
the
lot of fun.
Lookout Cookout.
Let's eat.
I'm down.
This episode of the Lookout Cookout is brought to you by Zion Consulting, offering services in graphic and website design, software development, and business consulting. Want to take your business to the next level? Visit zioncg.com and let Zion Consulting go the extra mile for you.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is Levi and Opie back here in the studio, our very luxurious studio that we have here.
Didn't that episode just sound so delicious?
I'm gonna re-listen to this episode before it comes
Over
out for
and
proofing.
over
Yeah.
and over again.
God, once we put it up on iTunes and I can just download it to my phone, it's just gonna be on loop.
Oh man, I'm gonna play it while I'm asleep. Just I have the most delicious dreams ever.
Absolutely. But I hope y'all enjoyed the interview with Miss Angela. She was just a super lovely woman. She was very nice and welcoming. She took time out of her very busy day
Yeah,
to
their whole
sit down
team
with
was
us.
super nice about everything. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a great thing. I mean, usually you think that we're just like plugging, whoever's on the episode, but like genuinely, that was both taste wise with the cupcakes, but then the actual interview and just dealing with her and all of her crew. They were just wonderful to deal with. Anybody that's in the area, definitely go check them out. You can go to their website. It's thehappycakescupcakery.com. Don't forget the at the beginning. If you just go to happycakes.com or any other variation, you're not gonna get there. So it's thehappycakescupcakery.com.
Right, and we'll have a link for them on the site as well.
Yep.
And also, I hope it really struck a chord with people. The charity work that they do.
Wipe every tear.
Yeah, wipeeverytear.org. It's a great cause, and it's I think I mentioned it in the interview. It's unfortunate that more businesses don't do things like that, but it just makes it all the more special when a business actually does do something like that.
And it's easy. I checked out their website. I'm not gonna go too far into it, but you can go to the website and check out if you need the help or you want to help or just educate yourself.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that kind of thing exists, but it's good that there's somebody out there trying to to improve it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we can do it under the guise of delicious cupcakes, then all the better.
All the better. Why not, right? So yeah, go check them out. That's wipeeverytear.org. That's thehappycakescupcakery.com. As always, on our website, it's thelookoutcookout.com. Everybody with the thes, again, it's
Very
the
important.
lookoutcookout.com. Any podcatcher, anything you can find us on. We're out there. Facebook, Twitter.
Instagram, iTunes.
Yeah.
We're everywhere.
Tell your friends, tell your enemy, tell your mom, tell your mom's enemies.
Exactly.
Go check that out, as always. We want to thank our sponsors for helping us out with this. Without them, we wouldn't even be doing this goofing off bit that we do
Yeah, absolutely.
every episode. But thank out Lookout Adventures, Above It All, Zion Consulting Group, Island Traders. Out those guys, again, we wouldn't be able to do any of this.
Thank you for letting us just shoot the breeze for however long that we do this on a regular basis, because it's a nice change of pace from the normal office life.
All those businesses are great too. You should definitely check them out if you haven't. Whether it's starting to warm up with some of those ones that do tours and whatnot, or if you have any need that they could help you out with, go support them, because their support's allowing us to do this. So.
Yeah, and once again, links to all of that will be on the site. Also, please check out the episode page for this episode on our site for links for the recipe that we talked about earlier. And also, once again, links for Happy Cakes and their charity, the charity that they're involved with. But, we talked about before, you mentioned, it does sound like we kind of like toot the horn of whoever's on the show, but that's because we seek out all of the people that are on the show. Like, we're not to the point where people are really coming to us to be on the show. So when we get someone on the show, it's because we genuinely want them on the show. So if it sounds like we're just kind of singing the praises of whoever's on it, it's legit.
It's legit. We appreciate what they do and just their history or whatever the case may be per episode.
Yeah.
Perfect example too. Go on all those links and let us know if there's somebody we're missing, somebody we haven't heard about,
please do.
somebody new. I mean, a lot of these folks that we talk to are already semi-established or maybe even have been around for quite a while.
Yep.
Businesses. Any suggestions you guys got as far as a show or content that you want to hear, please reach out and let us know. That's the only way we can improve and give you guys what you want to hear. We can sit around ourselves and talk about what we want to hear all day long, but
absolutely, yeah.
At the end of the day, we want you guys to be entertained as well.
And we've got some great episodes lined up. We were discussing with the big boss man earlier about who's coming up in the coming weeks and months, and I think it's going to be really great.
Everything pans out. I think we're going to have some pretty entertaining episodes to follow. So
that being said, we're always looking for suggestions. So please give us a shout out. Let us know who you think we should talk to. Even if you don't even know the whoever it is personally, just be like, hey, I'd love to hear the story of X.
Perfect scenario. You've got a phone number or email or something that we can contact. But if it's just somebody you came across, so you found an awesome whatever on the side of the road out in the middle of nowhere in the area, and you want to make sure they get their praises or get a chance to get their story out, definitely let us know. There's a way to get a hold of us through all the social media, our website, you name it. Stop by the office. Email us. We'll tell you where we're at.
Yeah, we're here.
So stick around, guys, for our future episodes. We're about to wrap up. Don't forget about the Beaufort News Festival coming up if you haven't already checked that out.
Yep, May 8th and 9th.
Go back and listen to that episode if you skipped over it.
Yeah, please do. And please, once again, visit thelookoutcookout.com to get any info on our sponsors and our guests from the episodes and episodes past. Thanks, guys.